Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale. If you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Doing another beer donated to the show, actually in a trade, with L. Harlock. This is Hop Yard Pale by Garrison, which is out of, I believe they're right out of Halifax. Yep, premium Halifax. 5.3% ABV. Don't know really anything about it, which is good because I'll give it as fair a review as possible. I know L. Harlock said a hophead like me should like this beer. It's like there's no description on it. I don't know if you can see this, but this bottle is soaked with sweat because it's actually very hot and humid, even though it's like the first day of fall. So I'm just going to jump right into this. Using my wine goblet or generic wine glass, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what to call it. It's somewhere between a red and a white wine glass. Well, I mean, got a nice two-finger head there. It's an orange color. I mean, it says pale, so I'm assuming it's a pale ale, not an IPA. Head's like creamy. Ooh, smells really good. It's like flowers. Straight up flowers. A little bit of citrus maybe. Smells really, I love smelling a beer like this. So if it tastes as good as it smells, we should be in for a treat, so cheers. Yeah, real hoppy. It's just all hops all the time. Just like the aroma indicates, it's the floral hops. Kind of a clean hop. Finishes with like that dry, like a powdered candy sweetness. Hops definitely linger here because it's drying my mouth out already. I just had one sip. Very, very bitter. It's like a piercing bitterness. Reminds me of Ithaca Flower Power, but it's a little more simple. It's not very complex. It's just like all hops, and that's pretty much it. It definitely drinks more like an IPA than a pale ale. The hops are lingering. It's drying out my mouth. Little bit of citrus on the back end, but it's pretty much the same flavor from start to finish. It's just a bittering, very bitter, slightly dry. It's floral, clean, real tasty, strong. My only beef is that I'm not really getting a whole lot of different flavors here. It's just one flavor, but it's very strong. I'd be curious to know the IBUs on this. It's like I said, it's drinking like an IPA, but it's only 5.3%, which would indicate that it's a pale ale. Oh look, it's a twist off. I didn't realize that. Well, that's the good thing about that that bottle opener. Preserves the caps perfectly, so that's going in the collection. So far I'm really liking this. So we will come back when I have my final say. Cheers. Alright, I'm back finishing up with the Garrison Hop Yard Pale. Really liking this beer. It's if this was an IPA, this is what I'd look for. I guess I can tell that it's more of a pale ale because it's like, less complex than an IPA. It's got the strong hop bitterness, and it's got that hop bite, like this beer, like when it crosses your tongue, it feels like it's biting you. Now that it's warmed up a little, I'm getting kind of a coffee bitterness, mostly in the aftertaste, not so much in the mouthfeel itself. There's a slight kind of honey sweetness to it as well, but both those flavors are very subtle. I was kind of on the border between a 7 and 8 for this beer. I mean, an 8 because it's like really impressing me and I like how robust it is. But I was thinking about dropping it to a 7 because it's a little too one-dimensional. But I think I'm actually going to go with the 8 though, because maybe I'm, just kind of grading on a curve here or giving it some brownie points because, this is definitely the hoppiest, most bitter Canadian beer I've ever had. So I'm very impressed with it. It's reminding me a lot of the Southern Tier Pale, which I actually sent El Harlock, and I think I'll have to go rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure he said when he was drinking that the Southern Tier Pale reminded him of this, and I would say this reminds me of that. So it's a good beer. I really like it. For the first time ever, I'm like thinking about doing halfway, but I'm going to be generous. I'm going to go 8 out of 10 for Hop Yard Pale. I think it's a very good beer. Maybe I made a mistake of drinking a little too cold, so I'm noticing as it's warming, get a little more flavors now. I'm also noticing that the body's kind of thinning out too. But, it's tasty, it's satisfying, easy to drink. 5.3%. That's pretty much sessionable, though I don't tend to session super hoppy beers like this. It would go great with a steak or like pork. This would, something like a real robust spicy dinner. This would go great with. I think I just have one bottle of this and be done. So, anyways, I'm rambling here. Thanks to El Harlock for the beer. I still got one more left in the fridge. And thanks for watching. Be sure to check out El Harlock's channel. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.